Hey, what's up, you guys? I am back. The hat is back. And you wanna know what this hat represents? This hat represents my inability to be an adult and take a shower. So I didn't feel like doing my hair. The hat is on. Michael's behind me. This is Michael, by the way. He's the mascot of this channel. If you don't know me, then you probably don't know that I really like foxes. So this is Michael. He's a fox. He'll be here. Anyways, today's a Wednesday. We're gonna talk about clothes. Yes, I'm also wearing a tank top. I noticed that half-naked men get more views. And you probably clicked on this video because you saw that I was wearing a tank top. So you know what? Don't judge me, judge yourself, okay? We're gonna be talking about trends today. Not what is trendy, but like why you should buy trends. And I feel like this is something that a lot of people maybe need to hear because I come from San Francisco, and it's a city where it's not a very trendy city, it's not a very fashionable city. A lot of people kind of just wear what they want, and it's all about being yourself and individualistic and not really following the hive mind, right? And that's really important. I think that's an important part of fashion for sure. But just sort of playing devil's advocate and like seeing the other side where it's like, well, why should you buy trends? This is a journey that I myself have been on. Where I also used to kind of just be like, well, I like what I like, and trends are dumb because nothing ever comes in or out of style, and if you love something, then you should wear it and you should buy it. But like, there are good things about trends, and we're gonna explore that today. I'm also filming a little bit later in the day, and I feel that this lighting is so much better, right? Isn't it hitting? Like, okay. By the way, if you don't know who I am, my name is Ishi, and like I'm doing this like YouTube thing now, and I have videos, I guess Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh my god, scheduled. So Monday, Wednesday, luxury clothing. Fridays, we're gonna kiki, girls night out, let's talk, let's mingle, let's chit chat, have dinner with me. Okay, so reason number one that you should buy trends is experimentation. You never know what you like until you try it, okay? Sometimes you might not think that you like something, and then you meet someone, and then you find that thing, right? And you're like, ooh, you know what? That really hit the spot. Like, maybe I do like that. And that is a really awesome feeling, you know? You might think that you don't really vibe with a certain style, and when you try it on, you really find a new part of yourself. And so a trend that has been coming back recently that has been very divisive is the whole skinny jean versus straight leg trend. And I'm here to say that I am really neither of those people. I love a good sweatpants, I love a good drawstring, I love a good tapered calf, but a nice like billowed sort of roomy thigh area. I don't know. That's just me. I like casual wear. I also wear a lot of shorts. Why am I talking about fashion? I'm like, I love sweatpants and sandals. Welcome to my luxury fashion channel. But I recently went to Balenciaga and I tried on a pair of their like baggy jeans, and also Louis Vuitton. I tried on a pair of their baggy jeans from their recent spring summer collection, and I feel like I kind of, you know, you play with these silhouettes and you realize that like, oh, like I don't have to wear the same silhouette that I'm used to, you know? It's like those people that are just like, everything I own is black because I'm so chic, and it's like, well, like, I don't know, maybe you should like wear like a color sometime, you know? So if you're someone that really likes a good tapered pant, I think it doesn't hurt to go into the store and try on, you know, a wide leg, boot cut, straight leg jean. You might look terrible, but if you're in the dressing room all alone, then you can just look in the mirror and cry and then leave, and no one will ever know, right? So I think it's worth trying. Also, another thing to note that maybe some people don't realize is that you can actually get clothes tailored. So if you try on a pair of pants and maybe let's say you liked like the wideness of them, but they're just so oversized that like the length is ridiculous, you can actually go and get them altered. Or sometimes boutiques will have like in-store they'll have services where they will take the garment to be tailored for you. Another example of this is colors, right? So a few seasons ago, Balenciaga was like all about the neon green. We were seeing neons everywhere, neon pinks, but specifically like neon chartreuses. And I participated in this trend not through clothing, but I actually dyed my hair neon green because, you know, you're young, you want to have fun. Like, oh my god, I'm like so holy right now. Yeah, I'm using a ring light, okay, I'm a professional. But we've seen things like color also come back and revisited through, like, now we're not really doing neon greens, but we are doing things like a Bottega green, right? That green screen green. So you never really know. You might have a favorite color, but then you might try something on and be like, oh, you know what? That kind of looks really good on me. Like, maybe I shouldn't wear black and gray every day, right? Let's experiment. Reason number 2 that you should buy trends is because there are more options when something is on trend, okay? When it is in trend, then everyone's doing it and you can find the one that really fits you. Okay, if you go into a store, right, and you're like, oh, I love fringe, and then they're like, well, we don't have fringe, sorry, but we have sequins, and you're like, no, I hate sequins. Sequins are so stupid. What the is wrong with you? They're gonna be like, okay, well, we don't have fringe, right? Okay, so one example of this that I can give from my own personal shopping experience. I'm not a sneaker person. I'm gonna make it very clear every video that I love slides, I love sandals, I love open-toed shoes. But as we know, the dad shoe was in for quite a while, specifically overly chunky, super platform, sky-high dad shoes, right? We're thinking the triple S specifically is like the poster child of this from Balenciaga, right? So I experimented with this trend by looking around, and instead of going for what everyone else was buying, which was a triple S sneaker, I went to Versace and I got myself a chain reaction. It still gives you that chunk, you're still participating in the trend, but you're sort of giving your own voice and you're being like, well, this is my take on it, right? So that's one example. Another example of this can be with bags. Let's say like you are a backpack type of person, right? You're a backpack girl. You like to look like you never left high school, right? That's your vibe. I get it. I have a backpack too, and I love it. Right now, shoulder bags are really in. If you go to the store and you're looking for a sort of like backpack style bag, there's not going to be a lot of options. But if you allow yourself to participate in that trend and find your voice within the context of fashion today, you can go and you can find the perfect shoulder bag that still says, hello world, this is me, this is my voice in fashion, this is the costume I'm wearing, but like, also, it's a shoulder bag, so it's on trend, right? So there's just so many more options, and I think that it's more fun, right? It's more fun that way to kind of go with the flow, right? You never want to be in an uphill battle in life. And so if every single boutique is selling shoulder bags and platforms and you're out here looking for ballet flats and duffel bags, then like your options are so much more limited. So just, I think it's better to sort of like find your voice and also participate in the trend. You know, have a balance. Life is all about balance. Reason number 3 that you should buy trends is that a lot of people don't realize this, but it's kind of like music, right? You think you have your favorite artist, but actually, who are the people behind your artist? The producers. They're the ones in the studios mixing the songs, and then they give them to the artist. Or you have songwriters who then sell their songs to these companies that then give them to the artists, right? In fashion, it's a little bit similar. We don't just have Louis Vuitton. We don't just have Fendi. We have creative directors that spend time at these companies, and whether they leave to go to another company or, you know, they leave for whatever reasons, their mark on that company is there, and these brands don't actually keep that same aesthetic for that long. So recently we see a lot of like vintage pieces coming back. We love like the whole Y2K thing. So we're taking out these like vintage like 2000s pieces and bringing them back for that. But also just the sustainability of just reusing clothes and not just throwing them away. So when you buy a trend today, in 20 years, that brand is no longer going to look like that. Okay, so one really good example of that is Louis Vuitton by Virgil Abloh. Louis Vuitton will never look the same because Virgil Abloh's outlook on fashion and also the way that he used the brand's codes was so unique to his own voice in fashion that if you own a piece from any of his collections from the past few years, nothing will ever compare. His DNA is in the brand forever now. We'll have re-editions, we'll have people giving nods to what he did, but we will never have collections from him again. And so, you know, another example of something like that is Gucci by Tom Ford. You know, sexy 90s Gucci. Gucci is no longer really like that anymore. But if you buy from Gucci today, Gucci in 10 or 20 years is not going to look like that because Alessandro's style is so unique to his own voice in fashion. So I think when buying trends, it's also something important to keep in mind is you're buying a piece of history and a piece in time because these brands are always changing and a lot of these pieces are just never going to come back. And that brings me to reason number X, because I forgot. I think we're on 4. But like, these pieces don't come back, especially if we're talking ready to wear, if we're talking trend pieces. Let's say the trend comes back again, you're not getting it the same way. We're not doing Y2K now the way that we were doing it during actual like 2002, right? We're not doing it the same. We're doing it in the way that we do it in 2022. So if you like something and it's like on trend, you know, like that's not coming back. It's not even coming back next season. Like, that's just fashion in general. The collections come and the collections go, and especially when we're talking ready to wear, it's gone. Like, honestly, like, you might see bags on the resale market. I think that's a lot. I think that's quite common. But ready to wear, for whatever reason, like, it's just once it's gone, it's so hard to find it, especially runway pieces. So keep that in mind as well. And the last and final reason, I already touched on this a bit, but I think that the main, if anything, the most important reason that we should be buying trends is that we get to ourselves have this conversation with each other. You get to tell me, right, hey, this is what I think a nice shoulder bag is. And I get to come back and be like, well, this is what I think a nice shoulder bag is. And this is how I would pair it with my garments. And we can all have that conversation together, and that is what forms the voice of our generation. When you go outside, you know, and you participate in what you think fashion should be today, you are actively participating in sort of like this stamp of what people look back on this decade as. We look back on the 80s for the neon. We look back at 90s for, you know, the grunge aesthetic. We look back on the 2000s for that sort of like messy party girl look. What are people going to look back on today? You actually get to have a part in that because you're literally actively shaping it. It does not exist yet. 2020, we're only 2 years in. We're still in the early 20s, right? In 50 years, what are people going to remember us as? So these are all of my reasons that I think you should buy trends. I used to be someone that was so against it. But I think when you do your own inner healing, you realize that it's not a battle, it's not a fight, nobody's right or wrong, it's a balance. And it's a balance inside of yourself to keep your own unique voice and also be able to participate in the conversation of fashion that is happening at this moment in time. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed my like butch realness costume that I put on. I'm about to go some bitches, and you know, that's what good sounds like, just like that. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on Friday with a sort of girls night out video. Maybe come get dinner with me. We'll see if the footage was good enough. But yeah, if you like this video, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me a DM. Yeah, thanks for watching.